Hello, I'm going to show you how to build a circuit so that you can control a front and rear camera automatically on your vehicle. I designed this circuit and I've tried it out and I've installed it in my vehicle and it's working 100%. It means you can auto switch between your front and your rear cameras. This will work on any universal head unit with a video in feature for reverse camera and a trigger wire. Most modern head units do have this feature. So what happens is I press this button here. I'm going to call this my parking mode button. You'll need it for reference through the video. I press my parking mode button and my front camera comes on by default. I change to reverse. My reverse camera switches over. Back to park or drive, my front camera comes on. So I can get really close to an obstruction without destroying it or me. Switch to reverse, same again, I can go back no problem, 100%. The way I've designed this circuit, you don't have to rely on parking mode for reverse, so once I turn parking mode off, it will go back to its previous state. I go into reverse, and the car will automatically go to the reverse camera. So parking mode button, you aren't restricted for going into reverse with parking mode. You only have to press parking mode if you want to use your front and rear camera. So as soon as you turn that switch on, front camera will be on by default until you go to reverse. Reverse will come on and back to park or drive, and the front camera comes back on. Turn it off and it goes back to its previous state. I'm just going to show you how to build this circuit now. It's going to cost you under £5 to build, and I'm going to show you how what components you're going to need, and I'm going to go through the schematics. Well, after doing a little research online looking for advice on how to automatically switch the power between a front and rear camera, I found no advice on how to actually do it. I couldn't find any advice at all except for one video on YouTube showing a head unit automatically switching between a front and rear camera. But I do have no explanation on the circuit, and there was a 10-second delay between the switches, which is just not ideal. You're not going to wait 10 seconds for a camera to switch. So I drew up some schematics, and after a wee bit of trial and error and just a bit of poking around my breadboard, I actually came up with a schematics that will work. It'll definitely work. I haven't installed it in my car yet, but I know it will definitely work. But you're only going to need a few components, very, very inexpensive components to build this circuit. First thing you're going to need is the main component, is a little relay module board, little 10 amp 30 volt direct current relay board. I'm going to put the link in the description to all the components I show you. These are £1.89. They're so inexpensive, and all the terminals are clearly marked, so when you're following this guide you'll really find it so easy to do what I've done. The second component you will need are two rectifying diodes. Now, if you don't know what rectifying diodes are, they're little components that allow electricity to flow one way and not back the other. So this is the anode and the cathode. What happens is electricity can flow down through here but can't come back up. It's like a non-return valve in a plumbing system. Or another way to imagine it is the cathode will not let electricity pass back through it. So can you imagine you're trying to roll a ball and your ball's electricity? You can roll it down here no problem, but it's really hard to push back up. So this grey stripe is called the cathode. You'll need that for reference while I'm making this video. You'll need two of these. They're about, I think it's something like 12 of these for 99p on eBay, and they're called, you bear with me, the model of them is 1N4001 rectifying diodes. I'll put that in the description. Next thing we're going to need is a rotor switch, any single pole, single throw rotor switch. Just you can go for, I solved it just out of a computer, but you can knock yourself out with it. There's so many different types and different sizes and shapes. One's especially for your car to fill a blank dummy switch in your car. These start at 99p. And last but not least, you're going to need This is a Y RCA AV splitter. They start, I think again, yet 99p. And what will happen is we will bring our two feeds from our front and rear camera. You will need an RCA cable coming in here and into the input in the back of your head unit. This will allow the switching of the two signals of the front and rear camera when they get powered. And that's pretty much it. What we're going to do next is I've made out a thing on the computer. I've drew out a few schematics in simple form, and rather than showing you symbols, I've actually done pictures, and we'll move on to it now, and I'll break down the circuit and show you how to build it. Okay, I have drew the schematics out in simple form. I have used pictures opposed to component symbols, just to make you understand how the circuit works a little easier. I'm going to bring you step by step and try to explain how this circuit is in operation. What happens is, in a normal reverse camera, what you will do is you will get your reverse camera and you will tap into the power in the back of your reverse lamp. So you will go in the back of your reverse lamp, you'll find your wiring loom, you'll find the positive and ground wires. You'll tap into them with Scotch lock clips or with just soldered splice, whatever you feel more comfortable with. And the way it normally works is your ground just gets soldered into the ground wire of your reverse camera. Your positive feed will come around and that will also go into the positive feed of your reverse camera, but you need a trigger wire, which usually this trigger wire that I've drew here usually will come out at each end of this RCA cable, usually by a little red cable that will come out with the cable that's supplied with your camera. You solder it into the back of this feed as well, into the back of this cable, sorry, as well. You bring it down and you will solder it to the back wire of your head unit, which it will tell you which cable. It's usually a wee bit of tape on it, tells you which one's your reverse trigger. But for this circuit, because we're using two cameras, we can't just have an ordinary cable going. We need to put a rectifying diode in here. Now the rectifying diode, when you're installing it, has to be in this position. This is called the anode, this is called the cathode. The cathode is usually marked as a grey stripe. So the electricity can flow through the anode but can't come back up through the cathode. The grey stripe or the cathode will always be closest to the head unit and furthest away from the power source. Next we need to get our other components ready for the circuit. We will have our front camera, our relay board, our switch and our power source. We will install the RCA cable to our front camera. We will install it into a Y RCA AV splitter. We will also have another piece of RCA cable, male to male, and we will install that into the female input on the back of your head unit. Now for your power source, I'm just going to splice into my wiring loom of my cigarette lighter, because it's simpler than trying to find a spare fuse in the vehicle. I'm going to put an inline fuse in it, so it will stop my camera from being fried. Not that it's probably not going to happen, but if you feel more comfortable going to your fuse box and taking a power feed from there, that's entirely up to you. But for this, I'm going to go into the wiring loom on my cigarette lighter. You will take the ground, you will add it to you will solder it to the front camera, you will bring it around, you will splice into it, bring it into the ground feed of your terminal board. That's been marked as DC minus. Then you will continue it and solder it into your power source. You will splice into the ground cable of your power source. You will then get the positive feed. You will solder it into your camera and you will solder it into the NC, normally closed terminal on your relay board. This will be marked as NC. You will then take the power source from your cigarette lighter or your power source. You'll put it into the top terminal on your SPST switch. On the bottom terminal you will take a cable and you will add it to the plus terminal on your relay board. This will be marked as DC plus. You will then splice into that cable, or else just also add it to the plus terminal on your board. You will take it around and connect it into the common terminal on your board. That's what we marked as COM. You then add a rectifying diode to that cable. Yet again, anode has to be going with the flow. The flow will be coming this way. The cathode will be closest to your head unit again, and you will install that into the trigger wire, also into the trigger wire of your head unit. You will then get a cable from the in terminal of your relay, and you'll splice it into your trigger wire of your reverse camera before the rectifying diode. I'll explain what's happening here. When you flick the switch of your parking mode button, the power will go to the relay and the power will go to your front camera. This NC stands for normally closed. That means in normal circumstances that relay will be closed. That means the circuit's closed and the power can run freely to your front camera. Whenever you engage reverse, the power will go to your reverse camera. It will travel down through the cable, go into the trigger wire on your head unit, and go into the in terminal on your relay. This in terminal is actually the trigger terminal for your relay. So once that power goes to the in terminal, it flicks the relay, and it goes from the normally closed position to a normally open position, or to an open position. So the power from this front camera will automatically disconnect as soon as you engage reverse. As soon as you come out of reverse, the power ceases from the in terminal, closing the relay again, allowing the front camera to engage power. So you are going to be driving along, say you're in your radio mode, or you're listening to a DVD or SD card, and you press your parking mode button. Well, the power is going to also come down and trigger the head unit, which is going to turn on your front camera, and you're just going to see your front camera. Once you go into reverse, the relay board triggers, your front camera ceases, your back camera. So on your screen you will have come from your front camera to your back camera. Once you come out of reverse, you'll go back to your front camera until you turn the parking mode switch off. One of the main reasons that you need this rectifying diode, well, these rectifying diodes, if we didn't have it and we went into reverse, the electricity would flow up through here, engaging the front camera, giving you two different signals at the one time, which would distort. You just couldn't, they would mix and you just couldn't see them. So these rectifying diodes are stopping the electricity flowing from the front to the back cameras. That's pretty much as much as I can explain this circuit. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope it gives you an understanding on how this circuit works. If you want to take a screenshot of this picture and print it out, it'll be easier whenever you go to your vehicle to install this circuit. It was pretty fun wee project as always to do. There's a little philosophy I like to carry through life, and I try and push it in my videos, is when you find yourself in that situation, we always find it every day. There must be an easier way to do this, there must be a better way to do this. No matter what it is, you, the person that's watching right now, is maybe the person who could make that better, make that easier. You know, just look and try to think outside the box. You know, I think everybody should be trying to push themselves just to make things and create things, and that's not for everybody, but I just like projects, and I like to try and always make things better if I possibly can, or easier. But thanks very much for watching, and just keep out an eye at my channel for upcoming electronic tutorial videos. If you like relays, or enjoy working with relays, or want a better understanding of relays, I've a video on about how to wire a double pole, double throw remote control relay system. I actually created it for a hoist to get my kayak in and out of my shed. So maybe if you want to nip over and we watch it, as I say, it was yet again, couldn't find anything on it, so I just went design and made a circuit for it. So thanks for watching anyway, and all the best.